Welcome back to Croup Manor and the brothel that we are about to finish creating. I must warn you, this video has some fucked up shit in it, so consider yourself warned, my friend. The first thing that we're going to fill up is the outside area, to make it seem like a genuine carpentry workshop. I added an armor and weapons workbench in one corner. They will probably want to create wooden guns and armor suits or some shit, and went to place the chemistry station on the other side. Since there are two chemistry stations, I figured why not place both, since I'm sure there will be plenty of wood to coat with chemicals. Now this second fucking station confused me a bit. I didn't really know which side is the front side, so I kept spinning it expecting something to happen, but then I noticed the drawers. These drawers were only on one side, so I assumed that that was the back side, you know, the side where the person will be standing at. I found a second weapons workbench, so I went back and placed it as well. Now I wanted to place stores, since I wanted to use these little sections to separate the different booths. It seemed like a pretty cool idea that would make things look nice. It took me 500 million years and 3 heroin shots to properly align all stores and do what I wanted to do, because for some reason the height of the stores is higher than the height of the roof, which is another one of the gloriously idiotic things that I found out about this game. I went back to the other side yet again and placed a power armor station in the last available section. I figured some people will want wooden parts installed on their power armors, so why not? The outside area needed something very important, something crucial to the functionality of the entire business, something that would amaze every single visitor and distract them from the dark and sensual secret that is the brothel inside the house. Rugs. Fucking rugs are life, man. 1 table full of rugs, 2 tables full of rugs, 3 tables, 4 tables full of rugs. I added a shopping cart in the corner, unlikely to be used but useful to be had. Like my peanut. I found water coolers in the items and I added a few. It can't hurt to have some water coolers around the place. I went outside and added 2 big ass crates in front of the settlement. To regular visitors this is simply storage for extra wood materials and stuff, but in reality these crates will contain very sexual items. I went back inside and added 2 wheelchairs close to the shopping cart. You never know if some legless motherfuckers decide to come and check out the workshop in hopes for a prosthetic leg. Or 2. I went to rearrange the shops and I noticed this dude just standing here, being a ghoul. I tried to ask him what's going on, but he just stood there. I punched him a few times and he still just stood there. I took out Get Wrecked Mate and he wasn't standing anymore. Since I still didn't have any food and I'm using the mod that adds planters to the game, I placed a bunch of them in the back. I will probably need to fill up the entire row with more planters, since this settlement is designed for more than 10 people, but this was enough for now. I wanted to put a water purifier somewhere, but in order to place it you need to be above water, and since some fucking bastard decided to add the settlement edge right before the water, I wasn't able to put it anywhere. Not even my butt. I added a few water pumps around the settlement since I couldn't do anything else when it comes to the water. Come on, mothers, we need more water items. Once that was done, I added a bell in the middle of the outer area so we can gather the settlers there, like cattle. I also added a siren outside, next to the statue thing. I don't know how much sense does it make to place it outside like this, but who gives a shit. The outer area was now completed and I went inside the house. Things are about to get fucked up, so brace yourself. Firstly, I placed an Ejaculation Corner. Now hear me out. In this corner, on one side, we will have the masturbators, and on the other side we will have a person or a thing that these masturbators will masturbate to. The last person to ejaculate on the person or the thing takes that person or thing home for exactly 48 hours. You might ask, what's the fetish here then? Well, the fetish is the sperm on the person or the thing. These people enjoy masturbating with others and then enjoy doing things to the person or thing that has the combination of the sperms of all the people that masturbated and ejaculated on it during that session. The next room is the dog fetish room. This table will be used for various activities with dogs. 2 seats for the people, with a center seat dedicated to either a dog or something that is relatable to dogs. There are also 2 benches in the corner for the ones who like to watch. The wall, of course, has a few pictures of dogs. The other side of the ground floor has a construction vehicle and a rug on which people will be able to have sex or simply masturbate to the sight of the glorious yellow beast. The left side of the hall on the first floor has a chalkboard, a canister, a toilet roll thing and a chair. This area is reserved for the one fucking bastard in the world that likes to use his penis as a chalk. The opposite side is a gentleman's area, vintage cabinets, an ice machine and some shelves with very nice and neatly placed chairs for everyone's enjoyment. The jizz in this area is cleaned only when they ask. This is their privilege. This leads us to the special room. The room in which the most fucked up motherfuckers will do the most fucked up things ever imaginable. The middle of the room has a stack of rugs. This stack of rugs has yet another stack of rugs. The wall is filled with pictures of a cat. So many pictures. One corner has 2 shopping carts filled with human and animal and thing remains. There are bloody stains on the floor, and there is a bloody totem of more blood next to the entrance. There is a bloody trunk in another corner. There is a cinder block on the rug stack for unknown reasons. The top of the rug stack has a toilet. There are more toilets on the sides. This is the special room of bloody diarrhea, a sauna of shit and blood, a chamber filled with disgust and shit, a master shitter observed by his shitter helpers who throw bloody shit at him as he is doing the same thing to himself. The second floor is a straight up fucking place. Everyone here fucks. One room is reserved for nice beds and somewhat hospital-ish fetishes. The other room has bunk beds. I'm certain there are a lot of bunk bed fetishists. There are also benches for the ones who simply like to watch. The porch outside is a pretty chill area where people can drink and talk about their fucked up fetishes. I didn't add a bar, which is probably a stupid mistake since there is no real way of getting drinks this way, but it's Fallout, not Sims, so nobody cares. I also placed a couple of trees to enhance the atmosphere and add a bit more oxygen since they will probably waste a shit ton of air with their heavy breathing. I went on the other side of the house and added a tank onto the platform. Why the fuck not? I forgot to place a crib inside. This is for potential babies that can be created by careless fuckers, so they can put the baby in there while they do their work. I see no harm in this. Defenses were necessary as well, so I put a couple of turrets all around the settlement, on the entrances and on the far corners of the outer area. It was time to start adding power, and the first step was adding a lot of conduits. Seriously, I think I added at least 50 conduits across the entire settlement, and this is the only thing that brought immense feelings of fuckery to me, because sometimes the wires didn't wanna connect, and I had to place additional conduits in stupid positions. I slapped myself a few times because the irritation was starting to force me to use a bit more heroin in order to finish the settlement. I placed a ton of lights everywhere. I especially like these flat ceiling lights that lit up a large area. They're pretty awesome. I made sure that all of the lights worked and that everything was connected together, and that was it. The fuckery carpentry Croup Manor Brothel has been completed. The outer area of the settlement has 2 large containers full of sexual items, the siren and the recruitment beacon, a couple of turrets and water pumps. Once you go through the entrance, the right side has a bunch of crafting stations, a shopping cart, a couple of wheelchairs, a water cooler, a collection of magnificent rugs with some boxes laid around, another water cooler and some scavenging stations. The other side has a chemistry station and a bunch of stores. Going further behind, we can see a bunch of plants that are being grown from planters. After entering the house, we are located in the dog fetish room. There is a ghoul corpse hanging from the ceiling, which gives a nice touch. The dog can nibble on his foot or something while the people jerk off. At this very moment the game stopped letting me move. I thought that the game crashed because the frame rate was getting progressively worse, and I assumed it just couldn't handle the gloriousness of the disgust. What actually happened is that I got a notification that the settlers at Oberland Station were very unhappy. I don't care about their happiness, so I was glad the game didn't crash. Continuing our tour, we get to the Ejaculation Corner and then the Construction Vehicle Fetish Corner. Going up the stairs on the right is the Gentleman's Corner, and on the left is the Weird Chalk Fetish Corner. Going straight leads us into the special room of bloody diarrhea that will house the worst possible fucking bastards that ever lived. This ghoul is a nice touch. They will most likely shit in his mouth, or something even worse. The second floor of the house has a few beds, a crib and some benches. After exiting onto the porch, the fuckers can relax with some drinks and a nice view with a pretty cool ambience thanks to the lights and trees, and perhaps the sunset. The side of the platform has a couple of extra items to not make it seem empty, and a tank in front, for the ones who like heavy military vehicles. I hope you enjoyed the Croup Manor settlement building. It certainly is a very curious location, with a very curious purpose. The purpose to fuck. Thanks for watching, and make sure to let me know, will you need therapy after watching this video? I have been Petard, your glorious lord, and may the blessings of Petardia eternally touch your butt.